Another one. What do you think, Blake?
Coupe.
Another coupe? Not a hatch?
I'm the only one with a hatch now. And Chico. You and Tony.
You and Tony, too?
Oh, yeah, and Tony.
Man, this thing
we'll
is...
be alright.
This thing is crusty.
What's that? 3 coupes and 3 hatches?
How long has it been sitting there?
Shit, a while.
I know y'all remember that guy.
Oh.
I had that fucking time.
Yeah, well.
Hey, Raymond.
I'm gonna show you, boy.
What'd you get?
Shit.
Piece of
Yeah, piece of
What's your plans?
junk it.
Junk it? Sell it for parts? You just gonna put it right in front of the garage?
I'm just gonna go straight into the garage, actually.
You're good? Okay.
Sick.
You wanna put like a tire behind it? Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hey, there's Kyler's lip.
Huh?
Kyler's lip.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna give it to the guy.
Yeah. We were looking for it a while back. We couldn't remember if we gave it to you or not. Alright, Raymond. Plans.
Give me like 5 months.
Rundown. You said 5 minutes?
5 months.
Oh.
No, I'm not guessing like the guy. You're just gonna have to wait and see.
Wait and see. So
Fiberglass over there.
I saw
Inside
that.
the house.
Yeah.
There's parts everywhere.
You already got the SR.
Just gonna have to wait and see.
Alright. Mr. Ray is a little camera shy, but new coupe. He sold the hatch to Blake a while back. Blake put an SR20 in it. Figuring his stuff out. Maybe one day I will be able to afford a 240. Hopefully a coupe, SR13 coupe. That is the goal. So we'll do some little updates on Raymond on his build. Should be interesting. I think this one is a little bit worse than what the hatch was when we first got it, which that was pre-YouTube. So excited to see this. As you saw at the beginning of the video, we went and picked up an F13 coupe for Raymond. He ended up selling his hatch to Blake a while back, and he's had this thing stashed away at a buddy's house. Finally got time to go get it, and now it's build season for him. It was basically in worse condition than this was when I got it, so it's going to be a fun project for him. Building off that, before we went and did that, they went to Knoxville to get some parts for David, and on their way back, they picked this diff up for me. I'm not sure if I showed much in-car footage on this channel, but my diff in this car is the OG one from when I started drifting like 7 or 8 years ago. It's been a solid diff, but it whines really bad. It sounds like I have a sequential in my car, which obviously I don't. I'm sure it's probably some backlash or something else in the differential that I probably could fix, but I think it's good to go ahead and get a new diff for it because the ear off the housing broke a while back and I had someone plate it, and I think he plated it crooked. So I would just like to kind of start fresh with a new diff, and this will be a spare on Drift Week if we end up needing one. So I hit up Travis. He's going to plate and weld the diff together, and then he's also going to plate this guy and make that thing strong so it will never break, but it'll also hopefully keep it true so it's not crooked. So that's where we're going now. Go drop that off. When we get back, we'll finally be able to use a tire machine, which we picked up in the last video. My old set of wheels, which I have 8 total, I wanted to get them sold since we have the Kwamis now and then the 3 pieces. Those are going to be my main wheels now until I get some other ones, maybe some Graham lights. So I'd like to get the other ones sold that I've used to run on, and 2 of them don't have tires on them, so I want to just throw some burners on it and use that guy finally, just kind of play with it. So that's what we'll be doing when we get back, but I'm going to head to Travis's and drop this diff off. Alrighty. Of course I get a message. Alright, so we got the wheels all cleaned up, got them aligned up, and I have someone coming right now to buy them for $300, so solid. We can kind of get some money back from purchasing those. Those are really expensive. Other ones didn't get as much hits. I got probably 30 messages already for those. I priced things too low, but I also want things to move fast, and I don't like dealing with people. So when your price is lower than it should be, you kind of got some room to just be like, all right, I'm not dealing with you. Boom, leave. Because now on Messenger you can leave the chat, so it's pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure they can't message you after that. So, you know, a little tidbit for you guys that sell stuff on Marketplace. So yeah, come to get those. Hopefully the other ones will be sold by the weekend. That'll be solid, like $500 back in our pocket. So it all works out. Like I said, trust the process. There's always a way to get your money back when you spend a lot of money on parts. You just got to think about it. You got to think what you have and what you're willing to part ways with. You don't have to keep everything, and anything you have has a price. Might be $10, but I mean, that's $10 you didn't have, so just food for thought. Let's get those things sold. So the wheel is sold. Got our money out of that. It's good. The other ones still have not sold yet, which kind of sucks, but kind of got some lines out there. Hopefully we'll reel those in and get our money out of it. I don't think I mentioned it, but for Drift Week, we're going to be running a Valino tire, which is a 255-550. And they don't really fit in the back. And then we got those up front now, so we should be good up front. So I bought some Kendas. Kendas came out with a 205-50. I had my buddy Lewis down at Limitless Customs put them on my brand new wheels. Right here. Look at those thick boys. And we also put them on the Johnnies for the front so we can test all the fitment out. Sadly, it does not fit good here, obviously. The tire sticks out about right here. And I guess you've already assumed we are going to pull this out and try our best to fit that boy down there. Just trying to save as much money as I could, where I could, and part of that was not going overs yet. Overs are going to be pretty expensive after like shipping and everything, and I just try not to go down that route if I didn't have to. One of the reasons I got those fenders is because I already messed up my fender over here. I hit the wall at Driven Luck Circuit, so trying to choose my battles here. So talked to a couple guys. 15x8 plus 25 should fit back here with it pulled, so fingers crossed. But before we get to that, everything finally came in for the Miata. We got the cam seals, we got the rear main seal. Also got this installation tool from Treasure Coast Miata to help fully seat that thing properly. I got this guy to lock the cam gears when doing the timing, pretty sick. Got this seal for the water tube that goes right there. And also picked up one of these bad boys since Cam broke my last one. He says he doesn't remember, but he broke it. Got this guy. Got this guy, mine was broken. And oil filter. We also just had some other parts come in, but we'll go over that a little later. And one last thing, while I got you here before we start on that motor. This portion is for my Honda people, Civic Wagon people. I finally decided that we're not going to do anything with this car. I'm going to part it out, cut it up, do whatever I need to do to get stuff sold off this. If you're needing parts, message me on Instagram. We can work something out. Like I said, I'll cut whatever. I'm just ready to get rid of this car. So let me know. Let's get on to this motor. So recap of what we're doing now. I'm doing the cam seals because I believe all my oil leaking was from up here where I didn't put the gasket on the half moons. I'm not touching the oil pan gasket. I am like 95% sure I did this properly. And then we are going to do the rear main seal. Like I said, I'm like 95% sure that should fix all my leaks because my car didn't really leave a puddle under it. It's just always saturated. So I really think it was the valve cover stuff. So we'll cover our bases and at least do the easy seals. It's always good to do a rear main seal if a motor's out like this because I hate to put it in and then it starts leaking. So that's enough yapping. Let's get this thing fixed. Oh! Mother. Ah! All right, so we need to talk because I royally f***ed up. I was putting these exhaust studs in, and I got to my last one, cranking it in, and I heard a little cracking noise. So I look at it, and I cracked the aluminum cast around the threads, and I was like, uh-oh. And so I checked all the other ones, and sure enough, I did it to 2 other ones. If you're pretty well versed, you should know by now that I installed them wrong. You're not supposed to crank them down. You're supposed to just do it like finger tight, like you would do head studs. So yeah, it's bad on me, which had me stressing all night. I was up to like 2:30 in the morning trying to figure out a solution. But this morning I messaged Travis, dude that did the cage at Miata. It's like, yo, I have an issue. Can you come over, check it out, hook me up, hopefully if you can fix it. And he came over that afternoon, brought his welding hood, and got me taken care of. So let's see what he did. So that was the last one, and then these were the other 2 that I messed up. And as you can see, he filled it in on the face side, and he also filled it in on the back side. The threads inside of it are still good. I did blow through maybe 2 or 3 of the first threads when I was pushing it through. On this head, I noticed that there's probably about a 1/4 inch of just empty space that they didn't tap. So I'm going to tap deeper in, give us a couple more threads to hopefully bite onto the stud, reinstall the studs the proper way, and then we should be good to hopefully finally put the manifold on, the turbo on, and then start running lines. So the oil lines and the water lines. So yeah, big f up, but you have it. At least it was fixable. I was going to just order everything, put the VVT head on here. Was not going to be fun, so I'm glad he hooked us up. But first, gotta grind that face down, get it back flush, and then studs, check everything out, then move on to getting this thing hopefully ready to put in that thing. Let's get it. But now since we have this set up, we can run our oil line and water lines, which was these fittings we put in. That's the oil and that's the water, pre-tapped from Mazda, which is pretty sick. Also like to add that Kraken is sponsoring this video. They got us the manifold, the turbo, the 3-inch exhaust, and also his fitting and line kit. And he also ships everything with this Inconel hardware and then the locking nuts. So this stuff should never back out. Inside this piping kit basically comes with everything to get your car ready, even the tap and drill bit to do your oil pan. We're going to be using this stuff right now. So this is the reducer for the oil in, your little washers for it, your copper washers, and then this is for the oil line itself. You can see in there, there's a little ferrule to use this PTFE, I think is what it is, oil line. This stuff is the truth from what Colton said. So that's cool. He also provides this, which should be the water line, and then this for the oil line, and then these AN to barb fittings, which we're not going to be using. We're going to be using everything to AN. So again, appreciate you, Kraken, for sponsoring this video. It means a lot to me. Let's get back to assembling this motor so we can get it again into the car as soon as possible. We got the turbo clocked the way we need it, restrictors in, and then the water lines how you're supposed to do it. This is our outlet line, and right there is our inlet. For some reason you put the inlet at the bottom, outlet at the top. I'm trying to clock the turbo, and there's really only two configurations. You got this one up, kind of don't like that. I would like to be able to move this to wherever I need it really, but this guy only bolts in like 3 locations. So where I wanted it was this guy just pointing down, and the holes that I needed would have been these guys, but this was just a little off right here. The bolt hole was like here. So I thought about wallering it out, but I really don't want to do that. So we'll just keep it like this. I went to Kraken's website, and his prefab intercooler kit has it set up like this. So we'll just run it. Now, let's move on to the water lines.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.